What's going on, guys? Welcome back. This is episode 2 of the OverPowered Podcast. It's me, Archer, with my co-host.
Berger. What's up, dudes?
All right, so last week, our first episode, we mentioned that we're a general podcast. We're going to talk about anything and everything Call of Duty. We talked about the beta, Warzone, competitive, and today, this is the weekend of the crossplay beta. So this is the first time where PC players could play and Xbox players. And so even PS4 players had more time to play the game and see what they thought about it, know more about the game. And you played both PS4 and PC beta.
Yes.
What are your thoughts? What's the differences you noticed when you switched over?
Night and day difference, graphically, and then as far as input lag, night and day. Like I didn't like the PS4 beta at all because it had 60 FPS. It just felt weird, and then on keyboard and mouse, it's not even close to keyboard and mouse on PC just because of the way the drivers and stuff are on PS4. So for me, I liked it a lot more than PS4 just because of that. But I only played the beta 2 days each on both. I went back to Warzone pretty much immediately, which seems to be the case with a lot of people, especially with content. Like nobody really cares about the betas that much. I've kind of come to find.
I think that partly has to do with Warzone being a thing now.
Yeah.
Because that's Warzone is separate from all Call of Duty. It's like its own entity.
Mm-hmm.
So it's considered a separate game, and they're not going to go back. If we didn't have Warzone, I guarantee people are not going to play beta and be like, okay, I'm just going to go back to play Modern Warfare pubs.
Yeah, probably.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So I think that's a factor.
Did you play Dirty Bomb?
No, I didn't. What is that?
Everybody thinks Dirty Bomb is going to be Warzone because they showed the map. You drop in with a squad, you literally jump out of a plane, you land inside the map. It has shield mechanics exactly like Modern Warfare or Warzone.
Really?
It has a lot of the sounds from Blackout. So a lot of people are thinking that that's going to be, or that's a sneak peek at Warzone. But I don't know. There's so many unanswered questions with that. That was my biggest takeaway from the beta, other than some of the things that I don't like. But that's going to be really interesting because we still don't know what's going to happen with Warzone yet.
Yeah, and they're separate from the first week with the PS4 exclusive beta. They added
2 new maps.
They didn't add 2 new maps, Cartel and I forgot the other one. What was it? There's Cartel, there's Moscow, Satellite.
We had Satellite
and Miami.
We had Satellite in Miami.
Yeah. And we had Moscow.
So they added. What did they add then? They added Dirty Bomb and
Cartel.
And Cartel.
Yeah. And so what if you were to rank the maps that they have so far out of Cartel, Miami, Satellite, and Moscow, what would you rank them?
Miami is by far at the bottom for me. Miami is one of the worst maps I've ever played. I hate Miami. It's so dark. It's so random. It's huge. I don't know. The layout's weird. I don't like Miami at all. Satellite's by far my favorite. I think it's a sniper's paradise because you can just sit on the dunes and fucking snipe people. I think Moscow is probably going to be, out of the beta, probably the best comp map for sure.
Yeah,
just because the center area. And I also hated, what's it called? Cartel. I hated that map too because the grass. Whoever made that map, come on.
Yeah, I would say that's one of the biggest negatives I'm taking from the beta so far. I know these are not this is something you guys have to know too. Is these are not the only maps that are going to be in the game for 6v6. But I would definitely I like Moscow a lot. It has 3 lanes. Spawns are kind of readable. Sometimes they're a little iffy, but it's still the beta, so they can fix that. And I actually would put Moscow as my favorite, and then I'll put Satellite as number 2, Miami number 3, and Cartel number 4. Cartel was unplayable for me. Though that's one of the maps where if you see you're about to play it, you'd back out of the lobby before the game starts. It was too many people just hiding in bushes and stuff. I couldn't
sliding in and out of the bushes is chaos.
Yeah, it's 90% of the game for that map. You're getting shot from places you're not looking at.
Yeah.
Like it's not like one-on-one gunfights type
Hmm.
stuff, and I don't like that at all. Um, but like on the let's go to the other side and talk about what was like the best things you took from the crossplay beta so far.
The graphics for sure. I'm still a little disappointed with the graphics, but it looked much better on PC, and it will look much better on PS5 and Xbox One X or whatever. Um, I think the spawn system is a huge W. It's not random like Modern Warfare. Like I immediately
Yeah.
was like, okay, I know these spawns now. Like I wasn't like, okay, someone's gonna spawn behind me. There was a couple times, um, but the spawns were very predictable, and I like that much better than how Modern Warfare was. So
Yeah.
for me, graphics and spawning was the W that I took from the beta.
I would say the biggest W I took was guns. All the guns are
That too.
good.
Yep.
There's not really many like it's and there's some that are probably a little bit more OP than others, but it's way more balanced. Like Modern Warfare, 90% of times like M4, MP5, and then on this game, AK is probably the most overpowered assault rifle right now, the AK-47.
I saw
And
it
then
didn't have much recoil.
yeah, it was that which is like
I
uncharacteristic for
basically, yeah, no, I basically
AK-47s in
sniped the whole
Call of
time.
Duty. Yeah, so that's what I was gonna say. That's probably the biggest thing I took is that sniping is finally back. Like it's back and it's really nice. Like the Pellington is so nice to
And
snipe with.
now you guys have
Yeah,
aim assist on controller for sniping,
yeah,
which is
which
cool.
helps a lot.
Yeah.
I also something we didn't even talk about last week was the introduction to FOV on console. What do you think about that?
That's the probably if I was a console player, that's the biggest W out of anything from the beta. The fact that they have FOV working in the beta and it's that smooth where you can just move it just like PC, huge massive W.
Yeah, that's something I still needed to tweak a little bit. I haven't really messed with that much because I'm so used
Yeah.
to having no like
It's
FOV
one of those things
slider.
once you go there, you can't even go back. Like
Hmm.
if the PS4 beta didn't have FOV, I wasn't going to play it.
Yeah, and another thing that's like it was a hot topic was the sliding mechanic. It was a hot topic the first week as well, but
That's
we
the
actually
biggest
have a
L
video.
in my
Yeah, I
opinion about
saw
the
a
beta.
video of I think one of the bigger names in COD esports, Aches. He posted it. He retweeted it. Um,
I think
you
I
can
saw
show it
it
right
too.
here. Yeah, so you can see like it's like a jump slide mechanic now instead of the slide cancel. It's like you slide, you jump, you into a slide, and then you jump again into a slide. It's like
Yeah, it's
makes you move like
so
10 times
dumb,
faster
bro.
on the map, which is
The
I
slide jumping is so. I mean, the sliding in general just needs
a fix.
a
Yeah,
fix,
for sure,
100%.
100%. Especially for
Because
competitive.
I am I am like a slightly above average. I'm a decent like keyboard mouse player, and when people were sliding like 10 feet in front of me, it's really hard because they move so quick. It's so hard to track that.
Yeah.
With aim assist, it slows your aim down. You can kind of follow it, but like free tracking something that close that moves, it's almost like a blink. Honestly, that's so sliding is the biggest complaint of mine about the beta. I really think that needs to be nerfed. There needs to be a cooldown. I like it feels smooth. It makes the game feel smoother, like Modern Warfare.
Hmm.
But the fact that you can just dart around and camera people so easy,
Yeah.
I don't like that.
And for those who don't know, like to camera someone is like so when you can abuse a mechanic like that where you're sliding like 20 feet at a time and it's going super fast on someone else's screen who's watching a person do that, it's like they're not gonna track it every single like centimeter of their movement. It's gonna when you're trying to aim and shoot somebody, it's gonna miss even though it looks like you're aiming right at them because like they're gonna slide across your screen at such a fast pace that the game won't be able to track it on your side of the game. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
well, there's just a ping difference, and
Yeah.
the sliding is different speeds throughout the slide. Like the beginning of the
Hmm.
slide is fast, and then it
Yeah, I
slows
noticed that
down, and then they like abruptly. It's so weird to shoot at, and I'm really concerned about it, to be honest.
too. Yeah, and then another video I want to bring up is a friend of yours, Wacky. Posted a video. We're gonna show you right now of some hacking going on in the beta.
This is insane.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even think I've ever seen hacking in beta before. I don't know. I there might have been an MW, but it wasn't this noticeable. It's like it's
Yeah, this is
more
I've
than
never
ever.
seen this before.
Yeah, and I think that a lot of that is attributed to how Activision is like punishing hackers on Warzone. They're not really doing much about it, and that's carrying over to the beta. And if it's there's hacking in the beta, then there's definitely going to be a lot of hacking in the Cold War version of Warzone, which is not a good sign at
Yeah,
all.
we need an anti-cheat. I don't think we're gonna get one, but we need one. A
Yeah,
lot
we
of
need one.
people like to blame PC players. Like, I see a lot of people complain how crossplay should only be between PS4 and Xbox, which I think is completely ridiculous. Obviously, as I'm a PC player, um, because it's not us PC players' fault. It's the fact that we don't have an anti-cheat.
Hmm.
And as bad as it sounds, I would rather have the ability to play with everybody than, because PC's been left out for so long.
Hmm.
We should not be blamed for this because
Well, if like
99% of us aren't doing that.
like if you're thinking from their perspective, like if were working for Activision, why wouldn't you make one like an anti-cheat?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't understand why that they don't. I don't know if they're looking into it or not, but it seems like they don't really want to
Yeah.
implement something like that. I don't know if they think that's going to affect their sales or something, but honestly, it doesn't make sense to me at all. But
Yeah, you can't have a
speaking
free to
of
play
like,
game without
yeah,
a solid strategy to
yeah,
combat cheating.
yeah, and speaking of like hacking and Warzone, there was a picture that came out I think a week ago, which we're going to show of what could be a sneak peek of the Warzone map for Cold War. And you're the token Warzone guy of this duo. So what do you think about that?
I don't know what to think, to be honest. There's a lot of unanswered questions about what Warzone's going to be post launch of Cold War. So I don't know if we're going to have the same engine, and then that would mean we're still in Verdansk, or they change the map, they blow it up, or if we're just going to completely flip into a Cold War engine. And based on what Dirty Bomb was and that sneak peek and everything, people dropping in, it looks like that's going to be Warzone, and a lot of people are assuming that. But I don't know if I'm right about this. I think I during the Cold War reveal, they were talking about how they were gonna implement the Cold War weapons into Verdansk, which for me implies like keeping Warzone the way it is. So
Mhm.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if so you think they will implement the guns and keep the same map until they're do you think they're have a map ready already or they're still developing a Warzone map for Cold War?
No, the maps. If they're changing the map, it's been done for a few months now, because
Hmm.
they've been planning this like nuke event since like that's been in the files since Warzone came out.
Hmm.
So they know what they're doing. It's just we don't know what they're doing yet, which
Yeah,
obviously
but
sucks.
like sticking let's go to talk about Warzone MW like right now. There's been a new meta that's super frustrating, which we also have a video of the new shotgun, the Jack 12 or the A12 if MW players like to call it. Uh, it has like it's like grenade bullets or something.
Yeah, it has a couple mag attachments. One is like it has fire mags, like the fire shotgun mags or the dragon's breath, and then it has like a 32 round mag extended, and then it has a frag grenade mag where it literally shoots frag grenades like 300 meters.
Is that the OP one?
Yeah, a lot of people kind of overestimated, including myself. We thought that this Jack 12 was going to be meta, but it's about the same as the way the other shotguns are right now.
Hmm.
If people wanted to, or if there was more incentive to, you could really abuse the frag thing against vehicles.
Yeah, which we have a video of, and we can show you that. We'll show you that right now, actually. All right, yeah, that I think it seems like pretty ridiculous that a shotgun can take out a helicopter like that. I mean, I would if I was in the helicopter and I knew that's how I died, I would never play again. Honestly, I don't know why would they would take
That
like when
hasn't
we
happened to me
have
yet, though. So
yeah. I mean, but the fact that it's possible, it should not be. And
That's really
I feel like
scary for my tournament
kind of
tomorrow.
careless on their end it's kind of careless on their end that like sure maybe if it happens once or twice with something like shotguns like being crazy overpowered, but like it's continually happening over and over. A new gun gets introduced. Like you think they would test these things before
It
releasing these new guns?
it's really starting to feel like they're doing this on purpose, and it's being a
Yeah,
marketing. It really starting to feel like it's a marketing strategy that they're doing
I
things
don't know
like this.
how though. Like it hurts their reputation if
Not
anything.
really, because then there's always a bundle to follow it that people buy.
True.
There's always a
I mean, yeah,
bundle
'cause
with the right
that's,
attachments.
yeah. If you think actually, yeah, that's
The
actually
Growl,
makes
the
sense
Bruin,
because
the
um
SBR.
when something becomes like meta and OP like that, like where it's broken, everyone's gonna use it. Everybody wants to use it, and that leads to more microtransactions.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something you can think about. But I still think it's just a sign of carelessness from them. Even it might be secretly super smart on
A
their end,
300
but
IQ marketing
yeah,
play.
like you have something like the R9, the R90, where Dragon's Breath is like super broken, two shot, you're dead. And they're like, okay, so why don't we introduce this shotgun, which has freaking frag grenade shots? Like, I don't understand where that thinking comes from at all. And it's so frustrating. It makes me
It's
not want to play.
it's so frustrating that Modern Warfare has catered so much to um meme warfare sort of,
Yeah,
because
it really,
there's so many cheese things that, like, if you're trying to take the game serious, like if you're trying to take Warzone seriously and compete for money, there's so many things that can ruin that, like, what's the word? Integrity. The integrity of the game. You got
yeah.
shotguns that shoot fire breath. Like, you got shotguns that shoot grenade launchers. You have a hit scan sniper for like 2 weeks. You got hackers. You got disconnects. Bounties weren't in the game. Like, there's so many. I don't
Now,
know.
do you know if for Warzone is like it's only run by Activision or does whenever it's like the cycle?
Warzone is the devs on Warzone is has been Infinity Ward and Raven Software.
Okay,
So
so will that will transition to Treyarch?
Raven Software is supposed to be the lead developer on Warzone.
Okay.
But right
Eh,
now, all of the games are kind of worked on by everybody, which is kind of weird.
mhm. But when the
I don't
cycle
know.
changes, do you think Treyarch's gonna take over from Infinity Ward
I
on
have no
Warzone too?
idea. I have no idea. I wish I knew the answers.
Because like
There's so many questions
yeah,
that need answered.
like when you think about like we have these like there's like hundreds of $1,000 tournaments. There's a tournament actually you're gonna be participating in tomorrow.
It's like 10 grand.
Yeah, or 2 days before we upload this. Uh, where like there's a lot of money on the line, and then but there's still things like this that exist in the game. Like it should like it's so careless, and if they want to expand into having their own events for Warzone, like these things, I feel like if they did, these they would take this way more seriously, like in terms of having fixing balancing guns and making sure they'd be way more on top of their game. But I feel like the fact that they don't have these things and that these events are like run by creators is why like they're not as they don't
Yeah.
care as much about like what's broken in the game or not.
Yeah, I mean, I get trying to make, like, they clearly, Infinity Ward clearly has a priority on making their games fun
Yeah.
versus competitive. Like, they've said that themselves, which I can understand. But at the same time, things like this are just a little overboard. Because we, like, in Modern Warfare, we have the CDL playlist. If you really want to get serious, you can play the CDL playlist. But in Warzone, it's free for all. Whatever you want to use is what you want to use. But I don't know.
Okay, I think all right, let's go into some competitive now. It's going to be a little bit short this week cuz not much happened, but we did have a team confirm their starting roster, the Los Angeles Guerrillas. They re-signed Vivid, who was a rookie last season. He was pretty good. He was very good in Search and Destroy. And then they signed Apathy from Seattle Surge, and then Silly and Assault
From Rocker.
from Minnesota Rocker. And when you look at it, Rocker, Surge, and Guerrillas were like
The
3 of the bottom
worst
4
teams.
teams. Yeah, but here's the thing.
Yikes.
This is what I think people don't realize, especially the newcomers to competitive like yourself, is that in 2018 in World War II, which is a 4v4 boots on the ground Call of Duty, uh, the world champions was Evil Geniuses, and their roster was Aches, Apathy, Assault, Silly. So 3 out of the 4 that are now on
That's kind of crazy.
Guerillas are the last players to win a 4v4 boots on the ground COD World Championship, and that's what we're transitioning to into Cold War. So on paper, looking at only last year, a lot of people are going to doubt the team and say they're going to be like the bottom of the bottom, just like they were last year. But I think this is a team that is going to be slept on and very surprising when the season starts.
Yeah, but at the same time, that was like going on 3 years ago now. So,
Well, yeah,
I mean, it's a good
it is
point, but
a
at
lot.
the same time,
Yeah.
it's Cold War is going to be a completely different game than World War II. World War II was slow.
True, that's true. But like players like Apathy, he's won 2 world championships in 4v4. So like this is these type of I feel like switching to 4v4 will benefit this team more than having 5v5 because they are like 4v4. It slows down the game a lot more
Yeah,
than 5v5.
yeah.
5v5 is just all like
Imagine
action
5v5
24/7.
on Cold War. Holy,
With the sliding mechanics,
oh
it'd
my
be
God.
so bad. And I hope they fix the sliding mechanics for competitive. Um, and also they have which another player on their substitutes, which is kind of controversial, is Mental from Gears of War. They signed him. He's a Gears of War pro for
Why do you say
a long
controversial?
time. Okay, this is why. Well, for those who don't know, uh, the league last year, the Call of Duty League, was 5v5 and 12 teams. So that's 60 starting players, and then each team could have a minimum of 2 to 5 subs. So that's a decent amount of like roster spots to sign players to their league, to their franchise team. But now they switched to 4v4, so that cuts one person off each starting roster, the 12 teams. So that's 12 starting spots gone. And so the teams that had like pros from last year, some of them didn't get re-signed because of this shortage of positions, and there was a lot of amateurs that were like at the top who still didn't get signed because of this shortage of spots, the cut in spots. And then Guerillas goes ahead and signs a player who's never played COD competitively in his life, and but he's like one of the known
He was
as
the
like the
most
best
winning
Gears of
Gears
War
of War player.
player of all time. So that caused a lot of backlash from some AMs, and because they've been grinding for like years to become COD pros, and then they get their sub spot taken just from someone who hasn't played. But I think
Dog eat
honestly,
dog world. That's my opinion.
it is. Yeah,
That guy's the most
I
accomplished
don't
Gears
mind
of War
this
player.
decision at all. I actually like the decision
I
from
love it.
them. Yeah, it helps their brand, and like we've seen multiple times examples of players coming from other games and becoming like some of the greatest COD players of all time. Like you can
Crim
look
6,
at
formal.
Crim 6, Hook, Formal,
Yeah, Hook.
Shotzi, who
Yeah,
just won
Shotzi.
Shotzi and Hook. So like they just won the world championship. Shotzi just won Rookie of the Year, and he came from Halo. Like these, like when it's for a sub spot, not like a starting spot. So I feel like it's something you can afford. You can afford to sign somebody like this, and like even if it doesn't work out, and he might even play a single game as a pro this year. Like if their team does well, they're not gonna sub out someone on their starting roster.
I bet he
But
makes it in before the end of the year.
I feel like he will. I feel like he will, and I feel like he has a lot of
I
potential. And
like that guy.
people,
I listened to
yeah,
that
he's really
podcast he
good.
had with Hex. I really like that guy.
Hmm.
His whole mindset. I feel the same way. I
Yeah,
love
because
that dude.
he was on Optic for the longest time.
Yeah, that's true.
He was a part of the Optic Gears of
Yeah.
War team. Um, but yeah, I really think that the people that don't like this call are not they're thinking of it not in the right way. They're thinking of it in a way that like this
They're
is like
reacting with their emotions, not their head.
yeah, exactly. Because this is probably one of the smartest signings of the season,
Hmm.
and he's not even a starting roster spot,
That
like starting roster
I
player.
would say that Hydra
Yep, and then our cities to phase.
and our
That was a
cities to
huge.
phase. and
Yeah,
maybe the Rocker made I think the Rocker made a good move for their
their
roster.
team is good too. I like their team a lot.
I'm excited for CDL this year, bro.
Yeah, I
I
feel like
really hope
44
we can
is
go
gonna
to an event,
revamp
man.
everything. Yeah, I'm very looking forward to it. Very much looking forward to this. All right, so I think it's time. We're gonna start. We're gonna try something new, something fun, and it's gonna cause some arguments, some agreements. We're gonna tell each other our and you guys our all-time Call of Duty list, starting from COD 4 to now, not including the Cold War because of it's just a beta.
Yeah, we're not doing
So
Cold War.
we're gonna tell you guys our lists, and you guys are free to put yours down in the comments, and if you're watching on YouTube, all right, let's start off with yours
We're
because I want to
definitely
go
not gonna
last.
have the same list. I'll tell you guys that right now. He's a Black Ops guy. I'm a Modern Warfare guy. I'm gonna go from bottom to top. So there's 13 CODs since COD 4. We're not doing Modern Warfare Remastered. We're not doing Cold War. My number 13 is probably everyone's number 13 for the most part. Infinite Warfare. I despise that game. I bought it, played it for a day, and returned it.
We're disagreeing already.
What? No shot. All right, Advanced Warfare is my next one. I don't really all the CODs after this one. I have no personal feelings against. Infinite Warfare I just despised. So Advanced Warfare is going to be my number 12. Not much to say about that. I'm just not a fan of advanced movement. BO4. I just really did not like BO4 for whatever reason. I loved Blackout, but BO4 was just not it for me. And now that I'm looking at the list, I would maybe put BO4 over World War II. Because World War II was very boring and very dull and very depressing. So maybe I'll flip those. So we'll go Infinite Warfare, Advanced Warfare, World War II, BO4. That's where we're at. And then, like I said, no personal feelings against any of these other games. I got World at War at number 9, just because I didn't really play it that much, and it's a World War II game. I'm not that excited about those games. Ghosts was an okay game. I returned that game too, but just still an okay game. COD 4.
That's one of the most underrated CODs for me, Ghosts.
Really?
Yeah,
I didn't like it. I think the map design was kind of bad and the time to kill. And COD 4, nothing against COD 4. It's just there's been so many good COD games since COD 4 that you can't COD 4 is not going to make my top 5. It's a great game, but all the other Modern Warfare games improved on it in my opinion. And then at number 6, I have Modern Warfare 2019. That's probably going to be controversial because people get so mad at that game, but forget the maps, forget skill-based matchmaking. There's so much good that this game brought to the community in terms of free to play. We got cross-play, all the free content. It got rid of microtransactions. There's so many good things that have come to COD because of this game, and I love that. So that's part of the reason why I like Modern Warfare 2019. I also like the gunplay and the movement. And then for my top 5, I think one of the most underrated CODs is Black Ops 3. Black Ops 3 is one of my. I'm actually gonna put this at number 4 because I really like Black Ops 3. That's one of my most played CODs. Even though it was
I think it's the best jetpack by far. Yeah,
so
best jetpack by
my number 5 is gonna be, and I hate to say this because it's a really good game too, but Black Ops 1.
I'm done.
Dog,
we're done. We're ending.
Black Ops 1. I'm
we're
sorry. Is a good. It's a good game. It's a great game.
You are high as a kite.
And then for my top 3, I have Black Ops 2. People are gonna hate me for that one. Black Ops 2 is a great game, but I
don't mind that.
I think Modern Warfare 3 and Modern Warfare 2 are better, and those are my top 2. So my top 1 through 13 is Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3, Black Ops 2, Black Ops 3, Black Ops 1, Modern Warfare 2019, COD 4, Ghosts, World at War, World War 2, BO4, Advanced Warfare, Infinite Warfare.
Okay. I'm gonna ask you this because this is probably the main thing. The main thing I want to know, because you definitely put MW higher than I did. But I'm gonna say if you didn't take crossplay
Modern Warfare, did what I say about Modern Warfare make you think about it more though?
It did, but the reason I want to ask you this is because it's just it could be a right COD wrong time type of thing for you, because imagine if the CODs you had lower also had crossplay and also had something like Warzone with it. I feel like you'd rank those higher than MW. If you take MW, like if you don't take crossplay into account and like the fact that they cater more to PC players in this game, like in terms of graphics and stuff, and like the fact that Warzone came out with it. If you take those things aside, would you keep it the same or would you make it lower?
I
Like
might
purely at a game standpoint,
purely
not
out of a
from like the.
multiplayer experience standpoint, I would maybe put it like at
You
one
can
or
include like campaign and stuff
I
too.
would maybe put it maybe one spot lower. Like I would put COD
Okay.
4 above it maybe,
Hmm.
but I don't know. I just think the overall package of Modern Warfare is really good. I think the skill-based matchmaking and some of the maps is what people hate about that game so much.
Yeah, I don't like the maps at all. I do like Gunrunner a lot though. Gunrunner, Hackney Hard are not bad, but other than that, I really don't like the
And
maps.
you also your games are also now more based on like how they play competitively.
Hmm.
So your idea of you're not going to have Modern Warfare games as high up as the Black Ops games because of that.
You'd be surprised.
All right.
Because I am like I told you, I started out as a Modern Warfare
All
kid.
right. If
I
Modern
just
Warfare
transitioned.
2 isn't in your top 2, I'm ending this podcast right now, bro.
Okay, listen, you put BO1 at 5. That's the most
Dude, I don't want
disrespectful
to
thing
do that. I
ever.
don't want to do that, but like
That game is
what do you expect me
goaded.
to do? There's Modern Warfare 2, 3, Black Ops 2 and Black Ops 3. Like what
Okay,
what are you going to put over?
listen,
What are you
I'll
going to
tell you
kick
my
out?
list then.
All
Let me
right.
tell you my list.
All right. Go ahead.
But overall, your list is not bad. Okay, so at last, and I know the comp scene are not gonna like this, but I have AW. I that's my least played COD by far. I don't think I've played more than like 3 games of multiplayer on that game.
I hate that
I
the
did,
pros like that game.
yeah, they like yeah, it's because it's like it has a skill gap. That's the
Yeah.
main thing that they're looking for. 12, second to last. I have World War II. My second least played COD. I the only thing I liked about it was their rank system. They had a really good ranking system for like ranked play, something that they should implement in Cold War. Hopefully, I need that. Like Black Ops 4 had it too. Black Ops 2 had it. It's something that is so useful and so fun for players that like to sweat and should be like they should have a non-ranked without SBMM and then have it ranked with SBMM and it'd be so much better in my opinion. Next up is Infinite Warfare, what you have at last. I like that game sort of some in this aspect.
No
It has
shot.
the listen. It has the most underrated zombies of all time. The zombies at the theme park was so much fun. I played that with my friends all the time. I loved it. The multiplayer was very bad. That's
The
a given.
multiplayer is
Everybody,
literally not even Call of Duty.
yeah, it's bad. It's the worst. It's
That's the worst multiplayer
probably the
in
worst
COD
multiplayer,
history.
but the zombies helps a lot, and I did like the competitive for IW. That's a factor for me.
Okay. All right, that's fair,
Um,
I guess. I
yeah.
just multiplayers doo doo.
Uh, okay, number 10. So going in the top 10, we have World at War. Probably my least played out of like the OG CODs, like
Yeah.
before like I would say like the end of OG COD was like Black Ops 2 or something. If I were to like
I would say
put
Black
that in
Ops
that,
1 is the end of OG COD, honestly. Black Ops 2 is kind of the
probably
start of New
it's like
Age.
the start of the new age for sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
because kids like teenagers now, their favorite COD,
Is
they're
Black
like,
Ops
oh,
2.
Black Ops 2 is when I started playing Call of Duty.
Yep.
But for us, it was like
Modern Warfare
either like
2 or
COD
Black
4 or
Ops
Modern
1.
Warfare 2. Yeah. So yeah, I'll agree with that. So I had World at War at 10. Really good game. Just didn't play that much, so I didn't have that much of opinion on it. So that's pretty much why it's at 10. If I played it more, it might be higher. Number 9, I have Ghosts. Even it's like in the halfway point of the list. It's one of the most underrated games, and like maybe a couple years ago it'd be higher, but the past couple games I rate better. I like it better a little bit, but it's still, in my opinion, one of the most underrated, even though it's not ranked that high for
I
me.
know what your next one's going to be.
You want to say it for me?
Modern Warfare 2019.
Yes, it is. Modern
I
Warfare
can't believe you put
2019
Black Ops 4 over Modern Warfare.
at number 8, and I'll
Oh,
tell you why. Because like I said, this is like good that we're comparing our lists because I look at it from a different way than you look at it because I'm more toward like I have a more competitive set like mindset when I look at Call of Duty, and then you have like a more
Black
like
Ops 4 doesn't
fun,
even
I
have a
guess.
campaign, bro.
Listen, it was it. I loved
And it had
the
Blackout.
movement. I love the movement. The maps are great. Very underrated for maps. So, what's it called? Yeah, I have Black Ops 4 at 7. I didn't mention that. At Modern Warfare at 8. It's the most meg Call of Duty of all time, in my opinion. You take out crossplay, like you take out Warzone, because that Warzone is supposed to be separate. Like you're not supposed to consider it a part of Modern Warfare. So you take those two things out, and it's like literally the most mediocre COD of all time, in my opinion. It might be a hot take, but I feel like a lot of people are going to agree with me here. And Black Ops 4, I liked the maps were way better than Modern Warfare. The movement was better. I'm a fan of 150 health, which is something I like about the beta.
Yeah, but that
Or
game
Black
had
Ops
way
4.
the time to kill in that game was horrible.
It was bad, but I'm a fan of stims. In that game, in that game specifically, it worked well, and competitive for that game was very entertaining. Um, and they had, like I said, they had league play, which was it's a huge thing for me. League play is so much fun. It's like takes out all the noobs and like broken stuff. Like you can't use like rocket launchers and stuff like that. And like shotgun. Sometimes they take them out, I think. And
Hold
you
on,
can only
hold
play
on,
like
hold on, hold
specific.
on,
You
hold
can
on,
play.
hold on.
Okay, okay. What do you want to ask?
Modern Warfare had gunfight, bro.
Oh, yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
Everybody
That's
forgets
true.
about gunfight, dude.
Gunfight is probably one of the
So
best additions.
underrated. I
It's
fucking
so
love
underrated.
gunfight,
It's
man.
probably honestly that's the best thing about Modern Warfare by far is
I can
gunfight.
agree with that. Gunfight is an amazing
Gunfight,
mode.
gunfight, or the gun customization.
Yeah, that too. That's the gun
Yeah, but
customization has
yeah,
been like I that's something that like I was wanting in Modern Warfare 2, that level of gun customization.
yeah, but even with your comment, I'm still putting Black Ops 4 ahead of Modern
Damn, bro.
Warfare. Dude, the rank play is a big deal to me,
I know
honestly.
it
And
is. I know it
they
is.
in Modern Warfare they did not
Yeah,
cater to people who
they
play
don't
like
yeah,
rank play at all.
they care a
CDL
lot more
playlist
about
is
casuals.
garbage. Yeah, CDL playlist was garbage, and I never even played it. I played like rank play religiously on Black Ops 4. And then number 6, just outside the top 5, I have COD 4. So unlike you, I have the OG Modern Warfare ahead of the new one. It's like I'm a big fan of like simple games, and COD 4, it just like they didn't have too much. They didn't like try to go to like be too extra with it, and it's like COD 4 is the reason why Call of Duty multiplayer is so famous, like so big.
Mm,
It was like the catalyst, isn't it? It's like the first like
I would say
it was the first COD in terms of
I
multiplayer.
would say COD 4 is the match and Modern
Yeah,
Warfare 2 is the
like the
explosion,
fuel, yeah, the
the
explosion.
fuse or the fuel or whatever.
Yeah, I agree with that. But yeah, COD 4 just like not much wrong with it. Such a good game. So easy to play. Love the guns. Sniping was great. Uh, and then let's go to my top 5. We have Black Ops 3, my favorite jetpack game. Great maps, great guns. Uh, that's pretty much all I can say. The zombies was fun as well.
That game is so criminally underrated, bro.
Super underrated. That yeah, and it's best jetpack by far. Like I said, great for competitive, and right above Black Ops 3, I have Black Ops 2, which is I think you had that at 4 as well.
I have Black Ops 2 at number 3.
Okay, so I have it a
Mainly,
little bit
dude,
under.
honestly, like if I'm being like really true to myself, BO3 might be my number 3 cuz like I love
Really,
Black Ops 1, 2 and 3, but like Black Ops 2 I put up there kind of because I'm going to get crucified if I don't, honestly.
hmm yeah. But yeah, Black Ops 2 is at 4, which is gonna. It's like a lot of people are not gonna like that.
Yeah.
A lot of people have it at 1 or 2, and I just think it's all it comes down to is I think the 3 games above it are just better and more like fun to play, and they just but I did like league play. I'm pretty sure BO2 introduced league play, which is a big thing, but I just like when I was younger, that didn't matter as much to me as
Yeah.
it does now. And that's why in my top 3, I have Modern Warfare 3, uh, and then Modern Warfare 2. So it's top two.
I can rest easy.
You can rest
This
easy.
podcast will go on.
Yeah, and honestly, Modern Warfare 2 was my number one for a long time until recently. I just like really thought about it and like just like compared the two games, and I'm like Black Ops 1 is the best Call of Duty of all time, in my opinion.
It's so weird because I've went back and played Black Ops 1 for for a few Carnage videos, and Black
Mhm.
Ops 1 is like a very different COD
It is. That's
compared
why I
to all
liked
the
it
other
so
Modern
much.
Warfare games and all the other Black Ops games. It's very different. Like
Mhm.
the movement, the sound, everything about it was just kind of off to me the last time I went back and played it. Um,
Yeah.
I don't know. That's all I'm gonna say. It was definitely a change up from Modern Warfare 2 and then going into Black
Yeah.
Ops 1. Those are completely different games.
I would say the reason why I put BO1 at 1 and Modern Warfare 2 at 2 is I feel like Black Ops is just overall a more complete game, like multiplayer zombies campaign.
If it didn't have zombies, there's no
Yeah,
shot.
like all three aspects of that game were perfect.
Hmm.
The COD point system was amazing. I was a huge fan of that. I'm a huge fan of their
I
kill
love COD
streaks.
point. I love the
I
COD
would run
points.
I was running Blackbird, Chopper Gunner dogs every day. Like that was my shit. And like I'll obviously Modern Warfare 2 kill streaks is like iconic, but I was just a big fan of the kill streak setup in Black Ops 1 and the guns. Like I said, they're my top two, so I love both of them. I just think Black Ops 1 is way more complete in terms of having a great campaign and great zombies as well.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
yeah,
at least you can justify your.
yeah. I mean, you guys watching this, feel free to leave your lists, or you can leave comments about our list, what you think. Whose list do you like better? Obviously, the answer is mine. Uh, and yeah, go ahead and do that if you want. But I think we're coming into the end, and we're gonna bring up our question of the week, which I have right here. It is asked by at xjdocx. He asks, "What are you most excited for going into Cold War?" And also, what are you most worried about going into Cold War?
For me, the thing I'm most excited about going into Cold War, and this is kind of a selfish thing, is the the way Warzone's going to be, like how it's going to integrate with Warzone. The thing I'm least wait, what was the question again?
What are you looking forward
And
most
what are you
going into
not
Cold
looking
War, and
forward to most? Okay.
like what I'm most worried about? Yeah.
The thing I'm most worried about is like the antithesis of that, which is I'm kind of worried that multiplayer is going to flop. I don't know. We haven't seen a whole lot of the beta, so I can't really say that confidently.
Mm.
But if I don't see more, I'm not that excited to play multiplayer. And I don't know if that's because my multiplayer days are over or if I'm just hyped up on Warzone still. I don't know what it is, but I'm a little bit worried about Cold War. I was a lot more excited about Modern Warfare after I played the beta.
Yeah. And I think I know why you feel that way. And for those who don't know, and you've talked about this a lot leading up to Black Ops Cold War, is that Treyarch had a limited amount of time to make this game compared to like the normal cycles of, I mean, like the normal amount of time
I've been saying that
takes to make a
privately
COD.
for a long time.
Yeah, and how long did they take to make compared to other developers, like
It's
other CODs?
I mean, I can't speak officially because it's not like I don't know the facts, but we
Hmm.
we do we do have a lot of information that like we know this was supposed to be Sledgehammer's game. Like it goes that way. It's been that way for a long time. It was supposed to be Sledgehammer's game, and then there was some reports that came out from like Charlie Intel and like some leakers that were saying that right at the launch of Black Ops 4, like right around the time like Christmas-ish, they were like, okay, we're putting Treyarch back on to this game. So like in reality, like while they're handling the launch of a new game and trying to put content out for that, and then handle Blackout, and then all of a sudden switching to a new game, like I'm just a little worried there's not going to be a lot to do in this game. But I'm open minded.
Yeah, I can agree with that for sure. All right, for me, what I'm looking forward to most is definitely competitive, which is the surprise shocker. 4v4 return of 4v4. I feel like the game will cater really well to it, or it's either going to be one of two things. It's either going to cater really well because Treyarch is known to cater really well to the competitive scene, and they always listen to community feedback. Infinity Ward not as much, but yeah, Treyarch is known to listen and they are very on top of things when it comes to community feedback,
The devs are
and
really committed this year to
yeah,
having
which
a
is a good
balanced game.
sign. I'm really happy to see that. But what I'm most worried about is definitely the maps, 100%. Like from what we've
Maps
seen
make or
so
break.
far, the four maps we've seen so far, and hopefully they do what Modern Warfare did, and like with every season they implement new maps. Uh, if only they brought back gunfight, that'd be awesome too. That'd be great,
I'm glad we have
actually.
Gunsmith.
I forgot to talk about Face Off from Modern Warfare 3. Why that's why it was like in my top three for
Hmm.
CODs of all time, which is something that's one of the most underrated game modes as well. But yeah, the maps, because out of the four maps, I would probably give their map design so far. Out of the four multiplayer 6v6 maps, so I should say, I would give their map design like a C minus so
Yeah,
far.
like a
And
6 or 7 out of 10.
and I don't know how many maps they're gonna release with the full game, but I'm
I really hope
hoping
they
that
blow
they're
us
way
away
better.
with like there needs to be a staple map that comes. Like we haven't had. If you think about it, we haven't had a staple map in a Call of Duty game in a long time. Like when you think of staple
Like a
maps,
map
you
that
think
they'll
of
bring back. They keep bringing
Nuketown,
back, I
High
think.
Rise. Like we haven't had
Yeah,
one of
yeah.
those maps in a really, really, really long time.
Mhm.
Like maybe
Yeah,
Shoot House from Modern Warfare or Shipment.
I
But
like Shoot
Shipment's
House.
even like Shipment's like from COD 4.
COD
So
4, yeah, that's true.
like
That's a
we
good
really
point,
haven't
actually.
had. We need good maps again. Like make Call of Duty great again. Make maps great again,
Yes.
bro.
3 lanes. 3 lanes is the key. Even the yeah, like Cartel is just like a open no lane map at all.
Yeah,
Like
it
you
is
have
no. It's
maybe
a no
one
lane
lane on
map.
the right side. It's so bad. That's 3 lanes is the key to a good map. You look at like maps like
Like
Fire Ring Range.
for me, High Rise is the
High Rise
epitome.
is like 3 lane map, like
High Rise is the
personified.
epitome of what a Call of
Yeah.
Duty map should be. You have
Yes.
verticality. You have lower levels. You have a lower, deeper level. You have 3 lanes. You have height. You got lots of cover. You got everything you need.
That might be something we talk
Nuketown's
about
another
in the
good one
future.
too.
Maybe have like a top 10 map of all time
Yep,
list if
I'm down.
we should do that. All right.
We have some more questions though. I did ask my Discord. Um, I said, give us some questions, anything that's relevant to COD. So I'm gonna pick a couple real quick, and we can just talk about them. The first
We're gonna
one,
link his Discord in the bio as well.
sure. Um, the first question is from Harry Scary, which he asked, "What is the best gun?" Or no. This is from Inferno. Inferno said, "What is the best gun in the beta and why?" For me, I can't really answer that question confidently because I pretty much only use the Pellington.
Well, that was my answer.
You really
That's gonna
think
be my
so?
answer.
It's kind of
I
hit
think
marker machine, bro. If you don't have the right
I just
attachments.
I just think just how how sniping works in terms of like like scoping in time, and like it's just way faster compared to Modern Warfare. I it just makes me so excited about what sniping will be like, because they're gonna introduce more snipers,
Yeah,
and there could be some even better than Plankton.
yeah.
But I'm just like how it feels compared to like Modern Warfare and Black Ops 4 and like the previous CODs that are recent. It's just like night and day difference, and
It
I'm
feels like the Car
so excited.
98.
Yeah, like when I started COD and Modern Warfare 2, Black Ops 1 days, like I would snipe a lot. That's like that was what made me enjoy the game a lot. So I'm very excited about sniping in Cold War. But other than sniping, I would probably say the
I was
AK-47 or
gonna say the
74U.
74U. That looked
Yeah.
like the best gun for me. Okay, so the next one. This is a really really good question from Harry Scary. He says, "What is what is your idea of a perfect COD?" It's kind of a tough.
That's a
That's kind of a
hard
tough question.
question. um, it just has to be balanced, man. I would say just like I said, 3 lane maps. You need good maps. You
We
need. Uh, I would take like if we let's look at it like this. Let's take an aspect from like our favorite CODs and combine them to make like the perfect COD. What would you take from each of your favorite games to make it perfect COD?
from Modern Warfare 2 and 3, it's got to be the maps. Um,
Yeah.
from Black Ops 2 and 3, it would probably be the gunplay and the the
Time to
color
kill.
and the time to kill. Yeah, I really think that maps are the most important. Maps and the balance of the guns is the most important. Like in Modern Warfare
And no
2,
SDM.
Modern Warfare 2 is kind of one of the most broken gun like games. Like there's so many overpowered things, but
Yeah.
every single gun was usable and all the maps were good in my opinion.
It's
Besides
pretty
Subways,
much the perfect COD is like Modern Warfare 2 without grenade launchers.
pretty much.
Yeah, and put in some like Black Ops 1 maps in there too.
And update the graphics. We need Modern Warfare 2 remastered, which will
And
never
no
happen.
SBM map.
Yeah, no SPMM. Do you
All
want to
right.
do one more?
Yeah, we can. We have time.
Someone said, "Why is your hair so swag?" I was born that way. If you were to change one thing about Cold War content-wise, what would it be besides SPMM and issues? Content-wise,
Content-wise. Oh man, you
gotta,
go
it's
first.
got,
I
it's
got
got
to
to be
think.
the maps. I mean, we keep talking about
Yeah,
maps, but
we
it's got
already
to be the
talked about it.
maps, bro.
I was trying to think of a different answer,
Yeah,
but
let's
yeah,
think of
pretty
something
much
else.
maps.
Um, shoot,
Man, that's a hard question.
content-wise, I would say probably just more guns. Like more guns. I think having more guns is always a W, even though it's
Yeah,
a little harder to balance.
yeah. One of the things Modern Warfare did right was like introducing more guns every season. Made like it's like
Modern Warfare had a
yeah,
lot of
things
content.
little. Yeah, it had a lot of content, which is why it blew up so much and why it had so many sales. Um, yeah, I mean, even though every now and again some of the guns they would introduce would be broken, but overall I still like that they included new guns every season, new maps. It like keeps content fresh, and you don't get complacent playing the
We're
game
playing
as
Call of
much.
Duty in October, bro.
Yeah, that's like 5 years ago. You're not even thinking about that at
Like
all.
you're playing some free to play game on your PS4 at this time of the year, right now.
Yeah, and I would say since it's a Treyarch COD, bring back OG wager matches. That's something I never mentioned. Why Black Ops 1 is the GOAT of CODs is wager matches was so much fun. Gun game, one in the chamber, sticks and
Oh
stones,
shoot, yeah,
so much fun. That's something that could that's like a big content opportunity as well. I feel like.
yeah. Oh,
Okay.
those are
I
some good
think
questions. Thank you for the
yeah,
questions,
great
everybody. Make sure
questions.
if you have any
Yeah, keep
questions,
asking.
DM them to me or him, or put them in my Discord, or send them to us on Twitter. Whatever it is, we're down to
I
answer
should
questions.
every week I'm gonna post a tweet on Twitter around like the Thursday, Friday of every week,
I'll tweet on
saying
Twitter.
to
Really?
yeah, shut up. Yeah, and I'm gonna ask you guys to post any questions you want to ask us underneath. You can also ask questions on Eric's Discord, which will be in the bio. And yeah, that's gonna do it for episode 2. I hope you guys enjoyed. Peace.